My grandmother's kitchen smelled like cumin and burnt sugar and the particular kind of stubbornness that keeps a woman cooking for 40 people every Sunday even after her doctor told her to rest. She died last spring, and when we cleaned out her house, I found the recipe box. It was a metal tin, pale green, dented on one corner. Inside were maybe 100 index cards in her handwriting, which got shakier toward the back the way handwriting does when decades pass between the first card and the last. Her tamales. Her pozole. Her arroz con leche. I took the box home. I'm a paralegal in San Antonio. I cook, but not like she did. Nobody cooked like she did. Her food was the kind that made arguments stop mid-sentence because someone needed a second plate. I decided to make every recipe in the box. One per week, starting from the front. I bought a notebook and documented each attempt, what worked, what didn't, what enough actually meant when you're standing at the stove without her there to show you. The first few were disasters. Her enchilada sauce came out bitter because I didn't toast the chiles long enough. Her flan collapsed because I pulled it too early. Her handwriting said, wait until the caramel sings, and I didn't know what that meant until my fourth attempt, when the sugar hit exactly the right temperature and made a sound in the pan, a faint, high hiss, and I understood. It sings. She wasn't being poetic. She was being precise. By month 3, I was getting closer. The tamales weren't hers, but they were mine, and they were good. I started bringing them to family gatherings. My mother cried the first time she tasted them, not because they were perfect, but because they were close, and close was enough to make the absence feel smaller for a second. Then I got to a card near the middle of the box that stopped me. It wasn't a recipe. It was a letter. It was addressed to me. My name, at the top, in her steadiest handwriting, the handwriting from early in the box, which means she wrote it years ago. It said, Mija, if you're reading this, I'm gone and you found the box. Good. I put it where you'd find it because you're the one who always watched. Your cousins ate. Your mother talked. You watched my hands. You were learning and you didn't know it. These recipes are yours now. Not because you're the best cook, but because you're the one who will do them right. Don't skip the lard in the tamales. I know you'll want to. Don't. I sat on my kitchen floor and held that card against my chest and cried the way you cry when someone who's gone still knows you better than anyone alive. She was right about the lard. I'd been using shortening. I switched back. The tamales got better immediately. I'm about halfway through the box now. Some recipes I've nailed. Some I'm still chasing. There's one card near the back that just says mole, with no instructions at all, just the word, like she was daring me to figure it out from memory. I called my mother and asked her if she remembered abuela's mole. She said she never wrote it down because she wanted someone to come learn it in person. She was waiting for you to ask. I never asked. She died before I asked. And now the recipe lives only in the hands of people who watched her make it and were paying attention. I've started calling my aunts. Each one remembers a different step. One remembers the chiles. Another remembers the chocolate. A third remembers that she added a piece of stale bread to thicken it, which sounds wrong but apparently was the secret. I'm piecing it together like evidence in a case file, which is probably the most paralegal way to reconstruct a family recipe in history. I'm 36 years old and my grandmother has been dead for a year and she's still teaching me to cook. The box sits on my counter now, right where her radio used to sit in her kitchen. Every Sunday I pull out a card and I stand at the stove and I listen for the singing.